Hello and welcome back. You know what? I've been waiting for this segment for 3 weeks, okay? It's all about wine. We have Brendan and Christina Quigley from Quigley's Fine Wines. Now, I'm going to start out with this. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
And I've been so wanting to ask this question. You know what? I've traveled overseas, worked overseas, and every time I see like Coors Light goes overseas, okay? I already know it's not, in my mind, it's not that great of a beer. I like a nice foreign beer. But then I find out when I go overseas that that same foreign beer that I like is like the Coors of that country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it the same for wine?
It is. In fact, it's what's made us start our company was traveling to Europe, discovering these really small boutique sort of family-owned wineries that we had never heard of, and both of us had been in the wine industry, that were so much better than any of the European wines that we were able to buy here in the United States. And so after tasting our way through all these wines, it's sort of a light bulb went off and said, you know what, the big importers, all they work with is mass-produced European wine. There's a niche for the small producers, the family-run wineries that have been doing it for generations after generations. And so we started importing them. And it's just like you said, you're not going to find Stone IPA at a beer bar in Paris. You'll find Budweiser and Coors Light.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to find Mondavi and Kendall Jackson and all of the names that we know in the United States are the big producers when you're at a restaurant in Paris.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You know what? I like good Cabernets and things like that, but sometimes I drink those Cabernets and I get headaches. Is that have to do with something with the mass production, or is it, is there a reason for that?
You know, I think everyone gets a headache for a different reason typically.
Well, I don't drink that much.
A big part of it is mass production. Yeah,
Okay.
When you're mass producing a wine, they're adding chemicals and preservatives to allow the wine to have a longer shelf life. The smaller produced wines just don't have those chemicals. And so that is a big cause of headaches. Another cause of headaches is the use of oak. And sometimes with mass-produced wines, instead of actually aging them in oak barrels, they add oak chips, which are just produced to give a wine a flavor of oak.
Oh.
And it yields a very strong kind of bitter tannin that gives a lot of people a headache. So it could come from the mass production, it could come from the flavor additives of oak chips and sugars and things that they add to mass-produced wines to make them taste a certain way.
I think a lot of people don't realize, too, that grape production in the United States, there's such a heavy use of pesticides and chemicals and herbicides on the mass-produced wines. And those are the wines that you typically end up buying if you go to a grocery store or a wine shop and it's not a small production, you don't know what you're getting. You're going to get a wine that probably has a lot of pesticides in it. And I think a lot of people are sensitive to that and get headaches from that.
Okay, so now I want to talk to you about the wine buying experience at Quigley Fine Wines. So tell me about that. It's very interesting.
It is. One thing we really try to do is keep the story alive from the winemakers and the vineyards that we bring the wine in from, right to the dinner table of the customers who buy our wines. We talk a lot about the wineries and the winemakers and the families. And I think that's something that you miss when you go into a grocery store and you look at 1,000 different labels and you just buy the one that's on sale or pretty and you know nothing about where the wine comes from. We try to really keep that story alive and we share it with our clients.
Well, I would guess that many of the small vintners overseas have been doing this for 100 years in the family.
That's right.
It's a part of their culture.
And it's just like mom and grandma's recipe that got passed down and got passed down and passed down. So,
Yes.
It's like, mama's lasagna, so to speak. It's really, really good, but nobody knows how to do it except for somebody in the family.
That's right.
That's great.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and as far as the wine buying process with our company is, we have consultants. And so when you buy wine from us, you work with one wine consultant. And they get to know your style, your price range, your favorite grapes, your favorite regions, and they can guide you through the wine world. And the more you work with them, the better they get to know your palate. And they make recommendations based on what you've loved in the past, wines that we don't sell, but our consultants know about and are familiar with the flavors, they'll then make recommendations to other wines and sort of take you on a tour throughout the wine world based on what your preferences and styles are.
So you can get all educated and have somebody help you and have fun along the way and
Exactly.
kind of
Yeah.
drink your way through it.
Yeah, in a
that's right.
non-pretentious way.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask about this. You have a winemaker's dinner experience. Tell me all about that.
So we've partnered with a few restaurants here in San Diego, and we do special winemaker dinners where we have a winemaker come in from Italy or France or Spain or a California winery that we work with, and we'll do a 5 or 6 course meal with the featured wines of that winemaker. And so Bacci Restaurant on Morena Boulevard, the Lion's Share downtown, Vigalucci's over in Coronado are some of our partners. And so, you know, we do them, this time of year is when we really start gearing it in. And so we do October, November, December, January, monthly winemaker dinner experiences. And it's really fun.
And what do those usually cost for somebody to go?
They can be anywhere from $70 a person up to $125 a person. And that'll include usually like 5 or 6 courses and a glass of wine with each course.
What an experience. That sounds wonderful.
It
It's
really
a lot of
is.
fun.
I mean, I go and I feel like I'm working, but then halfway through the night, I sort of realize I lose myself that I'm having as good a time as our clients are, because you know these are winemakers who have a deep passion for what they do, and chefs who have a deep passion for what they do. And when you bring that together in a beautiful restaurant setting like we have here, you know, it's a recipe for a great night.
I can tell you guys have a great passion for it just by the way you're talking. Now, what's your website name?
It's www.quigleyfinewines.com.
It's perfect. So somebody can go there, get information about that.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for coming on to the show. I'd like to try and get you back to maybe do us like a wine of the month type deal.
Oh, that'd be great.
I would love to do that, and make sure you bring some so I can taste.
Yeah, we'll have to do some sampling next time.
We just have to do it last the other day so we can get it ourselves.
And you should come to our tasting room on Wednesday nights and
Wednesday?
taste some wines yourself.
Okay, I'm in. I have to tag along with my wife, otherwise I won't be
Oh,
in.
absolutely.
But you know how that goes.
It's called Wine Wednesdays, every Wednesday night. So
Perfect. Hey, thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thank you.
thank you for having us.
If you'd like to get more information about Quigley Fine Wines, you can go to their website or go to ours at the Silver Hair Tsunami website. Now stick with us. We'll be right back.